Bob Goodman. I'm the executive director of the New Jersey Center for Teaching and Learning. First, I'll tell you a little bit about NJCTL. We're an independent nonprofit organization started by the NJEA, the teachers union, because we wanted to help out teachers, especially as teachers got under more pressure to achieve student outcomes. So our mission is to empower teachers to lead school improvement so that all children have access to a high quality education. And our focus is on the teaching and learning of science and math and computer science. We're a nonprofit. All of our employees are teachers, so it's run by teachers. And we support teachers with everything they need to provide quality math and science instruction to their students. And our goals are to reduce teacher stress, help schools, student outcomes, and together create a scalable solution. So today I'm going to talk about 3 ways that we can help. All of these were pertinent before all the COVID issues. They became more urgent and more pertinent after COVID. First, we offer fast, inexpensive pathways to new subject area endorsements. So you're going to learn about how we create new teachers in middle school and high school math, middle school science, but also physics, chemistry, and computer science. It's not an endorsement, but we train teachers to teach it. We offer free editable course materials that were developed to use in classrooms, but work very well on Zoom. So in a world where you don't know if you're going to be in a classroom or on Zoom on any given day, the same materials are available for both, and those were all free. And we developed asynchronous online courses to support flipped classrooms while your schools are open, but also to allow an immediate transition to online learning if and when schools close. It's the same exact content, so it allows for a seamless flow from one to the other. As I mentioned, I think PSI-PMI is our science and our mathematics program, Progressive Science Initiative and Progressive Mathematics Initiative. Were designed, I started them in 1999 at Bergen Tech in Teterboro. That was the year that Bergen Tech decided to go full-time. That's back when state testing became tougher, and that having kids spending time on buses going back and forth between the sending district and our school started to make it impossible to hit student outcome goals. So they went full-time. They hired me to start a pre-engineering program. And when in so doing, I ended up over time becoming in charge of the science and math for the school. The program started originally with just the 16 pre-engineering kids. Eventually, it was used by all of the students in the school. So regardless of their vocational major, we got rid of tracking and everyone took the same science courses. The first course, well, we'll talk about it, but the program spread basically by student demand. It started in '99, but by 2003, we'd gotten rid of all tracking. Everyone was taking the same courses. And by 2005, we were #1 in the state for the percentage of kids taking and passing AP physics. Because of the results at the school, I became the 2006 New Jersey State Teacher of the Year. And Judy mentioned knowing me from back then. And I think at the time, I don't know, Judy can confirm this if she may be on another call by now, but I think I was the first vocational technical teacher to become a State Teacher of the Year. So I was also the first alternate route teacher, I think, to become a State Teacher of the Year. In 2006, I also published my doctoral dissertation, which was on this program in science and math and how it affected student outcomes and how it worked. And because of being a State Teacher of the Year, when the New Jersey Center, when NJEA decided to start the Center for Teaching and Learning, they asked me to be one of the 5 founding board members. The other thing that happened was when the DOE gave me the award, they said, you know, they asked me to see if I could bring what we did at Bergen Tech to more schools in New Jersey. So scaling up the program from one school in Teterboro to schools across the state required a couple of things. First, we had to create all the materials we used for teaching the courses, and we had to make them available online and for free, which we did. And we needed a lot more math and science teachers because my program depended on all students taking physics in 9th grade. So, and there was a shortage of physics teachers. A lot of schools didn't have the ability to teach everyone physics. They only had the ability to teach about 1/3 of their kids physics. For the course materials, it worked out pretty well because I was given an interactive whiteboard as a state teacher. And although I found it hard to teach with the whiteboard for a while, it became clear that one of the advantages is that I could take the material from that we had developed for teaching my courses and stick it into smart notebook files, and then we could share those easily with people around the state or around the world. So we posted those on www.njctl.org, and people started using them everywhere. The pedagogy, not only did those smart notebooks capture the subject area content, whether it was chemistry or physics or math, whatever, they also captured the pedagogy that proved so welcoming to students who had a very wide range of backgrounds. I know you guys have the same, I expect you guys have the same experience I did. I had kids from 32 different sending schools showing up in my 9th grade classroom, and they had all kinds of variations in their backgrounds in science and math. So I needed an environment where I could sit them together and they could fill in each other's gaps and be productive regardless of their background. And I wanted a friendly atmosphere. We were teaching physics to everyone in 9th grade. How would you do that in a way that wouldn't be scary to kids, but at the same time, make it so that a very high percentage of them, more than half of them, would go on and choose to take AP physics in 10th grade while they were taking chemistry. So we developed a pedagogy that did that, and it was based on direct instruction that was very quick, to the point, almost just enough so that a third or half the kids would understand it the first time through. But they were sitting at tables with other kids, so they created like a chain reaction tutoring environment where kids would have a lot of time to teach each other around tables. So group problem solving, heterogeneous setting. We needed to make sure that there was a mixture of kids with strong backgrounds to weak backgrounds sitting together so they could tutor each other. To make all that work, to glue together the direct instruction and the social constructivist interaction, which in my mind is where the learning really takes place, we use polling devices. So we would teach them quickly, direct instruction, and then we would ask formative assessment questions and use polling devices in order to in order to drive the classroom discussion. So, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. So we created free editable materials, and those editable materials are now developed to the point they go from kindergarten to 12th grade and almost all the AP courses in science and math. They eliminated the need for textbooks and for creating lesson plans and writing tests. We did all that for teachers so that the teachers could really focus on teaching, which is, interacting with their kids, not staying up all night trying to write lesson plans or new problems or quizzes or tests or whatever. So we gave them everything they needed to teach: presentations, classwork, homework, labs, assessments, unit plans, everything. And that's all for free. And that's for everything you probably teach in your schools in science and math, I would expect. Last year, just for your reference, we had over 600,000 file downloads from 250,000 users. All 50 states, 186 countries are using these materials. So they're widely used. And on the site, we have 5,400, more than 5,000 presentation files in notebook and PDF, 14,000 Word documents, and 30,000 videos. And that would have been like up close to 0 videos if you went back 4 years ago. So the question, you'll see in a second why we have 30,000 videos now. And if you go to the site, njctl.org, if you click on teaching materials, you'll see this list. These are all the subjects for which we have content. And basically you just go there, you can download whatever you want to do, whatever you want. In order to see the quizzes and tests and the teacher resources, you have to register as a teacher, because we don't want students to be going online and finding their tests and practicing before they take them. So you just have to register, say you're a teacher, give us your email account at your school, and we'll check and confirm you're a teacher. So that got us the materials we needed, the teaching materials, but we needed a lot more teachers. And just to show you the scale of the problem, only about 1/3 of American kids take physics. If you want all kids to take physics, it turns out you need about 36,000 more physics teachers in the United States. The same higher education in the United States produces about 300 physics teachers a year. So if you count on higher education to get you physics teachers, you're never going to get enough. In fact, you probably never get it more than enough to fill up retirements, let alone to try getting another 36,000 teachers so kids can study physics. So And this shows, this is the physics majors in the United States. And you can see there's about 8,800 of them. And you would think 8,800 physics teachers, that's probably, I'm sorry, physics teachers, 8,800 physics majors. We should be able to get more than 300 physics teachers out of that. But you don't, because of this study, which shows that only 2% of people majoring in physics are very interested in teaching. 2% gets you about 200 teachers. We're actually getting 300. So some of the people who weren't very interested, maybe they're just interested, decide to become teachers. Still not going to get you 36,000 anyway. And that just tells you the basic classic paradigm, and the one that, for instance, New Jersey used as its foundation, of people major in physics and then they become a physics teacher, or they major. By the way, same problem with computer science, worse with computer science. Only 1% of computer science majors are very interested in teaching computer science. So you're not going to get computer science teachers by getting computer science majors. Math is better, 17%, not great, but not bad. But chemistry, 3%, same problem. It's the classical way of producing teachers will never get us enough teachers. The other way of looking at it, though, which is what we did back in 2007 when we started developing the program we launched in 2009, is there are about 4 million teachers in the United States. If we could get 1% of teachers in the United States to learn to teach physics, we could have 40,000 physics teachers. That's a much more practical path. That's true for physics. It's also true for chemistry, computer science, math. There's a lot of teachers out there who, if they learn these subject areas, could fill in all those gaps. And so we started doing that. In 2009, the Department of Education approved a 30-credit program from us where we would teach the content of physics to teachers, current teachers, English teachers, history, special education teachers, any teacher. We would teach them physics the same way we teach kids physics. And then at the same time, we would train them to use the materials that they were learning from, would be the materials that were free on the site for them to teach with. And we would teach them how to use the materials. So we do all of it at the same time. So in 1 year, we could teach someone not only physics, but also how to teach physics and how to use all these free tools to teaching physics. We became the #1 producer of US physics teachers in 2009, have pretty much stayed the #1 as far as we can tell every year since 2009. We've produced 282 physics teachers in 11 years. All of higher ed in New Jersey doesn't produce 10 teachers in a typical year. So 10 is about the benchmark for all of higher ed. So we're 2.5 times that. We moved from physics to other subjects. I was talking to the Passaic Tech person before. We got into chemistry because Ted Shavinsky made me feel guilty. We needed chemistry teachers and there weren't any. So we started a chemistry endorsement program online. We had a classroom endorsement program online, but it was actually hard to run because we weren't getting enough candidates at the time. When we went online, we got a lot more people doing it. And now with the numbers, you'll see the numbers in a second. We also do middle school math, K-12 math, and middle school science. Judy asked us to because of a separate need, especially the special services needing people who are certified in subject areas as well as to be teachers of students with disabilities. We are also going to get into teaching, creating biology teachers for next year. So we've proposed to the state to do that, but that'll be a year off. In 2007, we switched to being classroom-based. That is, teachers used to come to my classroom in Teterboro at night, and I teach them physics the same way I was teaching kids physics. But the problem was you could only get teachers then who had 300 spare hours. If they were taking care of family at home, or they had another job, or they were coaching, they couldn't do it. So it was kind of limiting. And also, even though we went to multiple locations eventually, we didn't have enough critical mass so that we could have enough locations so that people could be driving from Cape May or Toms River to a location, and they'd have to do it one night a week for the whole school year and every third Saturday. It's a lot of time. So we went 100% online, and to do that required using our materials to create a online course, using online tools to create the same pedagogy that we had done in classrooms. Remember I told you about direct instruction, social constructivism, formative assessment. We had to come up with what the online version of that would be. And we've done that. Starting in 2007, all of our training of teachers has become online. So it's 100% available to teachers anywhere, anytime. It's all asynchronous. There are no class meetings or anything. And it's all done that way.
Teachers, are you looking to expand your skills? Advance your career toward a subject that is in high demand? Learn from instructors with years of both classroom and remote teaching experience. Help students achieve in both classroom and remote learning environments? We're here to help when you sign up for NJCTL Teachers Courses. We are the New Jersey Center for Teaching and Learning, a nonprofit organization run by certified teachers with years of experience both in the classroom and in effective online learning. NJCTL is a leading producer of science and math teachers in the United States, providing courses that help teachers build the content knowledge they need to significantly improve student achievement. In 2017, NJCTL transitioned its courses for teachers to be 100% online and asynchronous, so teachers can now take courses anytime, anywhere, at their own pace. 95% of teachers who have taken an NJCTL course say they would recommend that course to their colleagues. Teachers can choose courses in both middle or high school math and science, as well as AP Physics, Chemistry, and Computer Science. We've developed an approach to online learning that combines the very best in classroom instruction with the rich opportunities that remote learning provides. Because classes are asynchronous, they can be started anytime and taken at your own pace. Each topic is introduced with a brief video explanation, followed by a series of questions to test your understanding. You'll know immediately if you got the problem right or wrong, and will be provided with a video demonstration of how to solve the problem. Every course unit includes virtual labs, auto-scored multiple-choice quizzes, and virtually proctored exams. Instructors grade labs and other open-ended responses and check in regularly to provide ongoing feedback about academic progress. In addition to learning the content, you'll learn how to teach the content to students by reflecting on your teaching practice and interacting with your peers and course instructors via discussion boards. Through our innovative approach, NJCTL has become the #1 producer of physics teachers. Our work in building an effective, knowledgeable teaching force has contributed to New Jersey becoming ranked #1 in student achievement in physics and #2 in chemistry. We are here to provide teachers with a strong foundation for future success and the joy of learning in courses that can be taken anytime, day or night. Check out NJCTL to learn more about how we can be helpful for you.
So that gives it a pretty good view of what our online courses are like, which I gather are actually pretty advanced relative to what a typical online course looks like. I just got that reconfirmed to me today in a meeting where I was talking about online courses with someone, and apparently the features that all the techniques we use are very hard to achieve in most platforms, but you can do it in Moodle. That's where we do it. So this is how many endorsements, these are how many teachers in New Jersey have gotten new endorsements to teach science and math from us. And you can see this is up to 65. The blue is physics, the red here is chemistry, and you can see math just started. We launched math in 2019 and it's grown quite a bit. And middle school science is just launched right now. And this is how we spread across the state. This was important to Marie Bliston, who is, they're a big supporter of ours, but we started out being a North Jersey group because Teterboro, my school, is like right around here. We started from there, but as we spread and we went to different locations, we had one in Gateway and down here in Trenton and then Teterboro. But when we went online, you could see the whole state filled in. So teachers from all over the state have been taking these courses and learning to be teachers of physics, chemistry, mathematics. This led in, by the way, in 2020, New Jersey, NJCTL was licensed by the Office of the Secretary of Higher Education as an institution of higher education, which means that in some districts we run across, and it really depends on the district, our credits could then be used directly without us having to transcribe them to a university, because some contracts, and you'd have to look at your own, say that they will accept credits from a licensed, approved New Jersey institution of higher education or an accredited institution from another state. but that's worth looking into. All of our endorsement programs include courses in these topics: teaching methods, the subject. We actually teach the content of physics, but we also teach how to teach it. There's a coached field experience where the teacher submits videos that line up together with what they learned in teaching methods and the subject area content to demonstrate they effectively teaching, and praxis prep. NJA members, by the way, receive 20% discount. I'll show you the pricing in a second. One of the nice things about our program, and you'll see that when we go through the phases, is that a teacher can begin teaching physics, for instance. They could start the program now and be teaching physics by September. That'd be a little bit of a stretch because normally they would start in like June, and now it's July. But the way the program works, just in general, is that after the teachers take the first subject area, this is algebra-based physics, so it's the first subject area content course, and this teaching methods course. When they complete both of those, they're allowed and actually required by the program to teach this course to students during the school year. So now you as a district would have a physics teacher for next school year as long as they teach this course. And then the payment for these courses goes, you pay as you go. So it's not like you have to pay a lump sum in advance. So the teachers pay for this or the district pays for it. The teachers go through the courses, they begin teaching physics. While they're teaching physics, they can then have a field experience. And that's why it's so important that they be teaching, because we think if they just took a lot of physics courses but didn't actually practice teaching physics, they wouldn't really be very good at teaching physics if we waited a year. Better to learn the basic physics, teach it, and while they're teaching it, they're learning advanced placement physics. And they're getting coached through, they're doing video submissions of their teaching so that we can give them feedback. That continues here. That was, by the way, I'm showing you physics because it would take too long to show you every subject, but the exact same structure works for middle and high school math and chemistry, and will work for computer science when the state finalizes its endorsement program. So this is AP Physics 1. They're learning AP Physics 2, second semester of field experience. From the second semester, they're teaching algebra-based physics. And then this is a praxis prep course, because in order to get a full endorsement from the state, you have to pass the praxis exam. So, and for your reference, I think we're just applying to middle states now because we're going down the accreditation path, which is not a short path, but anyway, we're starting down it. I think it's 94% of our teachers complete our program within a year of starting the field experience, and 95% of our teachers, I believe it is, pass the praxis exam. So it's very high success rate, and at the end of that 1 year, therefore, they get a regular endorsement. They could teach any physics, any school. These are the courses, just to show you the courses that we offer. You can see the prices, by the way, are pretty cheap. We'd have to charge something because we have an instructor actually teach these courses to teachers. But this is down to about $125 a credit for the teaching courses. So a 6-credit course from us is probably, what is it, about half the cost of a 3-credit course, or I don't know, much less than that. What does it cost for a credit from Rutgers right now, or something like that? A lot more than this. So it's $750. We do vary a little bit. Field experience is more expensive per credit because when we went to asynchronous online instruction, we decided to price our courses based on how much time it takes our instructor to teach it, not how many hours it takes the student to take it. So credits don't actually line up with costed directly. There's chemistry courses, middle school science courses, and mathematics courses. Here's our teaching methods. This is the one you take before you start teaching. These are the 2 field experience courses. And we did computer science for the governor's Computer Science for All. So we've trained teachers, about 30 teachers, I think, last year. We went through a program to teach them computer science and how to teach it. We used AP Computer Science A last year. This year, we're offering that, or AP Computer Science Principles, which we're launching AP Computer Science Principles like this week. So it's just about done. The free materials that could be used for, this is getting back now to the resources that are available for you to use as opposed to the teacher endorsement program. The free materials for live instruction, you get, this is all free and available on the site. So you get direct instruction slides and videos. In classrooms, you'd use a polling device. On Zoom, you use the built-in polling on Zoom. Every one of the video platforms has some sort of polling built in, and it would work the same way as it would in a classroom. So you get formative assessment slides and videos, classwork, homework, unit plans, labs, quizzes, tests. Again, all that's all available for you. What we did when COVID hit in March is we realized that as the schools were closing, that our teachers were switching to live instruction, but we're kind of skeptical about whether live instruction represents a complete solution to the problem of teaching kids online, because expect kids to sit 6 or 7 hours a day in front of a TV set at home or a computer screen seemed a little onerous to us. And you have multiple kids in the same house taking courses at the same time. It can be difficult both in bandwidth and getting space. So we think asynchronous instruction is also going to be key. So what we did was we went to our teacher courses, and we did this starting like March 18th when COVID started closing schools. And we stripped out the aspects about the courses that had to do with how to teach the content, leaving just the content there. So the same way we were teaching teachers the content, we would teach students content online. It's going full circle because we started out with classroom materials to teach students, then we used that to teach teachers. Then we created asynchronous courses to teach teachers. We then took the next step of saying we could create asynchronous courses to teach students. We did that. We created self-study courses. There was no instructor in the course because we had to do this very fast. Schools closed in March. We wanted to get them a solution by April. So we posted these courses for the free use of anybody. They weren't structured with an instructor and students. They were just, everyone goes to sign on and could take the course themselves. But instructors could then assign work to their students, and the students could submit it through their LMS. So they could use these as a very powerful asynchronous learning tool. We are going to continue that in the fall. We can't keep doing it for free, but it's down to like $7 a student or something is what we're charging to put students in those courses. They're all hosted on our site. The self-study courses, the ones I just told you about, give you automatic feedback. The student does the direct instruction video. They watch the direct instruction. They get asked a question. They answer the question. They're told if they're right or wrong right away. They then can click on watch a video of someone solving the problem, which replaces the social constructivism they would have in a classroom of going to a friend next to them and finding out how to do the problem. We have virtual labs built into them that they can do. Auto-graded quizzes, so randomly selection quizzes from a big test bank, and a progress bar so they can monitor, or you can monitor, anyone can monitor their progress. This could be used in a flipped classroom. So the school year starting, the same materials you're using in the classroom are exactly the same materials used in these courses. So you could say to kids, we're going to go on Zoom tomorrow we're going to meet in the classroom tomorrow to work on problems. In advance of that, go through Unit 2, Topic 3, watch the videos, do the formative assessment questions, and when we get together, we're going to work on some other things. Similarly, when schools close, if schools close, you can say, in your own time, do these things, and then we're going to get together for a half an hour or 20 minutes to go over problems that you had with doing these problems. Or you could decide, I'm going to get together with just the kids who are struggling with fractions, and I don't need everyone at the same time. I'll just create small group instruction. I think they're just tools that good teachers will be able to use very creatively. The problem is that the limitation of the self-study courses is that they're really standalone courses. They're not tied to, you're not the instructor in them, because to do that, you'd have to enroll the instructor and separately enroll all the kids and create a hierarchy, which just takes a little bit more time and money to do. But we have these courses available for these self-study purposes. So these can complement the free classroom courses, or if schools close, they can replace them. And these are mathematics, chemistry, biology, computer science, middle school science. The next step for us was we also then created teacher-facilitated courses, which basically are exactly the same as our courses for teachers, again with the how to teach it aspects stripped out. But now the teacher who gets enrolled as the instructor of the course is you, and your students become, instead of us teaching teachers, it's you teaching your students. So the power of that is that you get a dashboard which shows you the student's progress in the course, the last login they had, their grades. It actually tells you all the assignments they submitted, which ones they haven't submitted, and which ones you've graded and which ones you haven't graded. It's a much easier way of teaching than to have all that material sent back through your LMS. And then you can communicate directly with your classes through submission. They can, in the Moodle course, they can submit their assignments, and you can grade them and return them to them and so forth. And they can complete their labs and forward them up to you that way. And that's all these courses are available. Oh, and the other thing we can do, and this is could be important to some of you, this all works with teacher facilitated courses, and it works with all of these, but there's prices on these. The prices for teacher facilitated courses are not much different than self-study. They're like $12, and I'll show you that in a second. The other thing we can do is, if you have a course that you have no teacher for, or you only have like 3 kids who want to take AP physics, calculus-based physics or something, and you don't want to say no to the kids, but you can't use your physics teacher, one of their 5 sections a year that you're allowed to teach under the contract, you don't want to use it for 3 kids. We could actually provide the instructor and teach these courses to your kids within the same structure. So that's an added benefit that you guys can use or not use. And so these courses are all available for you to teach with your instructor, or if you need us to teach it with our instructor, we're able to do that, but that's up to you. And this is a comparison chart showing what these things are. You can see that the first 4 are the same for everything. So everything we do is based on the same direct instruction slides and videos, formative assessment slides and videos, classwork, unit plans. All of this is common no matter what you do. And this all free. If you decide you want to have self-study courses, then you get these extra attributes, the automatic feedback and videos, virtual labs, auto-graded quizzes, student progress bar. If you want to teach a course, then you provide the teacher, and they can provide teacher support within the course. And if it turns out that you don't have a teacher and you got a kid who wants to take AP Physics 1 and you don't have anyone else, then you could have us do it. And this last one, these are the graduate level courses that teachers take in order to earn an endorsement. Again, same courses, we teach those. And to show you, so the subject content is the same in all of them. And there's a complete overlap between the remote, all the teaching tools, materials we give you to teach it, from live teaching through asynchronous teaching, and the endorsement programs. They all use the same subject matter. They use the same slides and videos. So there's a lot of synergy. And this is the cost for all of these things. These are the endorsement programs. If they're not NJEA members, then these are the prices for 30 credit. Well, here's the credits: 30 credits for physics, chemistry, math is 36, middle school subjects are 24. And that's the total cost of the program. Again, you pay as you go. NJEA members get 20% off. So if your district is NJEA, has NJEA teachers, these prices are relatively inexpensive, I think you'll say. And this is what we're charging for. Live teaching materials are all free. Self-study courses, we charge $95 a teacher. That's basically to train the teacher and get them enrolled and set up. And then $7 for each of their students. And then teacher facilitated, $250 plus 12. This is more because we're actually training the teacher in how to be a Moodle instructor. But all of that is relatively, I think, inexpensive, but it is charges that allow us to sustain doing this as we host these courses on our site and have to train teachers to do it. And that's it. That's what we have to offer and help you with. And I hope some of this is of value to you all, and I look forward to answering any questions you might have.